interpreter, crap. You know what you want. You want hours, you want you want materials given to you in advance, and you would like that. You would like to have it materials 2-3 days in advance, right? Does that happen?
I'm asking her. I'm responding to her.
Oh. So I already warned the students that sometimes you may not get prepped and to not freak out. And that's life. Sometimes we won't get prepped.
Sometimes you will get prepped 2-3 days in advance. You can plan ahead. Sometimes you won't get it. Last minute, the night before, the presenter will be planning their presentation the night before at the last minute, figuring things out, changing things, and you won't get it until they show up. Sometimes you'll get it right at the last minute when you sit down with that consumer, and they will give it to you when you show up for the assignment. And you'll have just those few minutes to look at it and try and figure out how you're going to voice this. And sometimes the presentation is changed at the last minute. The situation will happen, and you won't even know what they're talking about. Okay, and sometimes there'll be information that they'll be adding that's not even on the PowerPoint. And you'll be looking at your PowerPoint and suddenly realize that you don't have the information that you thought you had. And you'll look at the presenter and say, what in the world are you talking about? And whose problem is this? Is this the presenters or the interpreters? What do you do if you don't get materials in advance?
I would research. You would do research.
Oh, so you should get in the habit of doing some research, figuring out what some basic information is that you could be looking at, what could possibly be discussed. And just realize that most of the information will probably be on the PowerPoint there. You can look at it as it comes up. That's how you take responsibility for your own work. Do your own research.
Suppose I go into an interview at Walmart.
Okay. Suppose I go into an interview at Walmart. You're not going to have any prep for that. What are you going to do? Look on the Walmart website. Read about their business. Understand what they're about. You can use that information and you can be ready for that interpreting situation. Walmart will tell you, what kind of clothes you have to wear. That kind of information you can find and use in that interpreting situation. It's right there on their website. Okay. Suppose it's an engineering company. Okay. So, a variety of engineering topics. So, go on their website, look for vocabulary, and you can pick up some information that way and be ready for the interpreting situation. Often you'll see an interpreter show up for like a job situation.
Often interpreters have not done their homework and they'll show up for the job interview and ask the consumer to give them information about the job. I'm already nervous as an interviewee, and now I've got the added work of trying to get the interpreter in on what's going to be discussed.
Suppose an agency were to send in 3 Suppose an agency were to send in 2 or 3 interpreters and they drive really fast. And you only wanted 1 interpreter. You want to work with someone that you've worked with before, because you have a good rapport with them. So you would want them to be the lead interpreter. Let them become the lead, because they know the consumer's preference. They've worked with the consumer before. They have information about them. Maybe the interpreter has only 2 or 3 years experience. So you're gonna allow the person who has the most experience to take the lead. Because they know they're a better fit with that consumer, and they know that consumer, worked with him before. So they have a good rapport.
All right, you got it, Patricia? Just what do you think you understood? Okay, so often a team of interpreters will be sent in, and the one that has the most experience in working with Katie should always take the lead. Assumptions are made, though, when a more experienced interpreter, often the team will defer to the most experienced person, but that's not always the case because they might not know Katie in the way that, say, someone else on the team knows her. So don't make those assumptions. All right, Maisie, we're going to switch to you now.